my spring independent reading project, I have read the book The Fighting Ground, written by Avi. The Fighting Ground is a young adult historical fiction book which takes place in a battlefield and a little boy's house in New Jersey on April 3rd and 4th in 1778. The Revolutionary War has begun, and the American colonists are fighting for their independence from Britain. The three main characters are Jonathan, who is the protagonist, the corporal, and the Hessian soldiers, who are the antagonists. Jonathan is a 13-year-old boy who lives on a small farm and wants to fight in the war. He is motivated to this passion because he wants to show his father that he is powerful too. The corporal is the main organizer of the band of soldiers that Jonathan wants to be a part of. He acts like a coward towards Jonathan. The last characters are the Hessian soldiers. There are three, one young, one middle-aged, and one old. The older soldiers are rude, stern, and try to belittle Jonathan. The younger one appears to be nice and kind. Some positive traits about Jonathan is that he is passionate about fighting. This comes to be true when he sneaks away from his house and goes to the tavern to get a gun and then goes off with the rest of the men to fight. The corporal's purpose is to order the soldiers around and make sure they are in line and not going crazy. On the other hand, the Hessians are part of the British troops and their goal is to kill all the Americans. The main problem in this story is that Jonathan needs to find a way to escape the war and get back home safely to his family. Before I read the book, I knew the plot would be about war. Throughout the book, though, I have come to see that it is not just talking about war in general, but breaking a battle down piece by piece into two specific days. Right at the beginning of the book, this is said by a bystander. Grasping the gun tightly in both hands, Jonathan jumped down the steps and ran down the road toward Pennington. This quote stood out to me because it shows how Jonathan really wanted to fight, even though he did not know what was coming. The tone of this novel is exciting, eventful, dreary, and sometimes sad. I would recommend this book to anyone who is interested in historical fiction about war and wants an easy read. This book is very descriptive, but at an easy reading level, which makes it fun to get into and understand.